You are the fastest man in the game. One thing I want to talk to you about, probably the most controversial thing that's actually ever happened to you, probably in your life, in the Pride Round jersey.
I was, honestly, like, looking back on it, it was good and it was a bad experience.
I've heard some great stories about your old coach, Des Hasler. Is there any stories you could give me?
He is just he's a different cat, man.
I want to rattle your brain here.
Here we go.
I'm going to rattle your brain. Pinocchio's nose grows when he lies, right? So if he said, my nose is about to grow, what would happen?
What the hell? What type of question is this? Is he lying or is he telling the truth?
Being your stepdad, being Lebanese, and obviously your biological dad, I'm Nigerian. How was that kind of growing up as a kid for you?
Kind of wasn't until I was probably like 6 or 7 where I was trying to like, I was questioning like, why am I black and everyone's white? What's going on? Like.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Trot, episode 24. And we've made today one of the fastest men in rugby league, Jason Saab.
Thanks for having me, bro.
What's happening, brother?
No, not much. A little gym session this morning, cruising through the fat with you, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Twice in 4 days, I bumped into you.
Yeah,
obviously,
I know.
I saw you at the NBA event, meeting Gary Payton, the glove himself. And you know what killed me? You tossing up that you've never played basketball before.
Come on, bro. I was
proceed to slot three-point shots.
I was a bricklayer. I was getting warm, but I was getting warm. I showed you I was getting warm. I thought it was going to be worse than it was, but I was all right.
You looked more like a basketball player than me. Let's put it that way. Do you watch much basketball? Or?
Oh, honestly, I used to play the game 2K a lot, and I was into basketball when I would play the game. But now I don't play the game, so I don't really bother like watching basketball. I don't know. I just follow like highlights and stuff and players and that, but I don't really watch it. Like,
if you had a team, would you pick
the Bulls? Yeah, the Bulls. Ever since a kid, always.
Why the Bulls?
Why else?
Michael Jordan.
Dynasty, of course.
And you've never, stand by that. You've never played basketball before.
Never. No. So I wasn't really a tall kid growing up. So if I knew I was going to be 6'6", maybe I would have, played. But I was always like short, so I never tried basketball or any other sport.
Okay, fair enough. And you know what? Yesterday I was just on social media, as you do, and I come across this reel and take off your shirt for 1 second.
Yesterday, you've been having this plan for weeks, eh?
No,
you've been having this plan for weeks.
I actually come across it yesterday.
Actually?
Take off your shirt now.
I'm not taking it off now.
Take it off.
I'm not taking it off now.
Come on.
But we'll talk about it. Let's go.
Go.
Yeah.
Well,
run
me through the tattoo on your upper back.
Nah, it's just my home where I was raised, my area. Proud to come from there, and I just knew or just know that I'm, destined to represent at a high level and stuff, and I'm just very proud of where I come from, my community, and that's why I put it on my back. So
could you turn around and give a?
It's underneath my shirt, bro.
Just turn around.
But go on the Instagram, go.
Okay.
It got pretty out there, so I'm sure people watching are seeing it anyway. So
because when you think about it, like Manly, Merrylands, complete opposites, obviously.
Yeah, same kind of,
You reckon?
Nah, not really.
Is Merrylands the real area or what?
Merrylands is the area.
You reckon?
Yeah. West Sydney, Merrylands, yeah.
So you grew up
Guildford,
Merrylands?
Yeah, Merrylands, Guildford, Granville, but mainly Merrylands. Played my junior league there, Merrylands Rams. Primary school there, Merrylands East. But as long as I can remember, I grew up in Merrylands. So
to get it obviously tattooed on your back obviously means pretty special.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love tattoos, and I was kind of inspired by the Javonte Davis Baltimore tattoo that he got on his back. So I liked the art piece and want to get my back finished and stuff. So I don't know, it just looked nice across the back there in that paintbrush font. So that's the start of the back piece, I suppose.
Is there any other tattoos in the lineup that you're thinking of?
For my back, I kind of have an idea plan with the I don't know if you know the Crusaders back in the day.
Yep.
The Catholic Crusaders
I'm
and stuff.
I'm a history junkie, believe it or not.
Yeah. So have you seen the movie Kingdom of Heaven?
Of course I have.
Yeah. So there's a nice photo. There's a still shot of King Baldwin when he's they're not going to war, but he's going to meet the Saladin. You know, when they got the armies together.
Yes.
And there's a mad photo of him on the horse, and I like that. I like his part.
Is that when they got
movie.
outnumbered and he had to try and stall the?
They were outnumbered, yeah. So he went to the Saladin, and they greeted each other and whatnot, and they made peace and whatever. But I like even researching into who he was as a king back in the day, and obviously he was a leper and stuff, and he led a big army, and that he just represents kind of what Christianity is to me in a way where it wasn't about war, it wasn't about violence, but it was about obviously being staunch and defending your beliefs and your rights, and especially the pilgrims and the people who needed to be defended. He was all about that, but he was also about peace. And to me, that's what Christianity represents. It's not being a pushover, but it's also knowing when, also always looking for peace, always looking to love thy neighbor, as it says and stuff. So I've got a still shot of that picture I want to get on my back on one side, and then on the other side is probably going to be like a similar scenario or something like that. So
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but that's I'm pretty keen to get that done when I can. So.
Man, same. Like, I don't got one tattoo on me.
Yeah, I
mean,
know.
not one. I'm like the black sheep of my family. Like, everyone in my family's got tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like, with tattoos, there's no going back. I think that
Exactly,
that
yeah.
haunts me a bit. But also, I'm a pretty picky person. Like if I think I'll be down the research and I'll have to pick something, but I'll never pick up the perfect tattoo if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I always wanted to get like a big back tattoo.
Yeah.
I'm a
But
very
you
extreme
look sick
person
with
as well.
a big back tattoo too.
Yeah, because I got massive lats.
Big lats and that.
But you never know. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. You're obviously going through a hamstring injury at the moment. Where are you at with your rehab?
When did we play? 1, 2. So it's been about 4 weeks or so, or 3.5 weeks since I've done the injury. And I'm up running and stuff, and I'm like on track, like fine, like smooth sailing. So hopefully back in about 4 weeks. So around 7, hopefully.
Yep.
But it's tracking really well, man. Like I feel good. I'm getting some extra uppers in, trying to do what I can in that. So just attacking it and just get back on the field as soon as I can.
I'm sure your nutritionist has got you on a plan, but I have to tell you, I've been taking this best of bone broth stuff. Like I don't know if you've heard of it. It's basically bone broth.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Make sure you.
How long have you
get
been taking it for?
And this is not a sponsored post, by the way. Plug. Probably on and off, probably for 4 years, 4 or 5 years. I reckon.
Okay, yeah. So if you've been taking it that, I guess you have enough to go stand by it.
I only take it when like my body's feeling a bit sore, like get little niggles here and there, my joints and stuff, and. Man, I'm telling you, I swear by it. Is there anything you're taking like similar? Like obviously it's full of collagen. Collagen.
Yeah, that's all I'm taking at the moment. I don't take too much stuff, just collagen, amino acids and protein after gym session. But yeah, in terms of like ligaments and all the tendon stuff, is collagen I'm on heavy now. I've been on for the last few months, like a couple months. But if you swear by the bone broth thing, I have to look into it then.
Bro, I'll send you the link.
Hit up the nutritionist at Manly and get on it.
Always look after my wing brothers. Well, anyway, thanks again for coming on to the show today. And our proud sponsors, ShoeGrab, as per tradition, brother, have gifted you a pair of sneakers if you want to open them up and have a look in there. Any sponsors?
Nike.
Nice.
On the field, so.
Nice. How good. What did you get today, brother? What did you get?
Thank you. Some dunks.
How good. Hey,
The Nathan Browns, these ones.
What's your shoe size?
I'm a 12.5.
Believe it or not, I've got the same shoe size as you. I don't know how.
That's big Lebo foot, that's why.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Look at those things.
13's perfect, and these two perfect. Thanks, my brother.
No,
appreciate it.
Thank you, ShoeGrab.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, ShoeGrab.
Best sneaker store in the land, brother.
That's it. In the area as well.
100%. Oh, let's kick off with your childhood and background. What's your nationality, brother?
So I'm Nigerian, Australian, Indigenous, and I'd like to say culturally Lebanese, because not by blood, but I grew up in a Lebanese household. So those are the three.
Let's talk about your childhood, man. What was that like?
It was. If I can even remember, my childhood was pretty good. You know, my parents did everything they could to get me everything I needed. You know, and I know they struggled a fair bit just trying to give me the things that they didn't have as kids. And you know, they've been the best parents to me. And as long as I can remember, I was just playing footy. You know, I started footy when I was 7, Merrylands Rams, and I had a bit of a mixed childhood. You know, at my earliest days, you know, I remember having fun and playing footy and stuff, and that was always good. And then obviously in high school, which is kind of like a childhoodish, I suppose, like teenagers and that. Early teens, 12, 13 was a bit tough, like going into a sports school where everyone was like pretty good. And I was a gun footy player as a kid, but then when I got into the age where everyone starts to mature a bit, I wasn't that great. And then obviously, like, you know, as I've said before, like just going through like bullying stuff and, you know, never really playing like first division in rugby league and stuff like that was a bit tough, but in the end kind of worked out well. So, but no, my childhood, honestly, my parents did a really good job, obviously, you know, like to make do with what we had. And, you know, even now, like I'm 23, they still try and treat me like a kid, but that's just because they love me. And mum, actually, not dad, dad's fine, but mum obviously is mum, you know. but yeah, no, honestly, like I'm pretty grateful, like, you know, for my parents and childhood I had, and yeah, it was good.
Bit of a personal question, if you don't mind me asking. Obviously, being your stepdad, being Lebanese, and obviously your biological dad, Nigerian. How was that kind of growing up as a kid for you? Like having that stepdad as your actual dad and mentor.
Yeah. No, it was honestly like as long as I can remember, he's been my father. So like, it kind of wasn't until I was probably like 6 or 7 where I was trying to like, I was questioning like, why am I black and everyone's white? What's going on? Like, you know, I remember like I'd be at, you know, McDonald's with mum or my dad, and the people behind the counter would ask me if I want anything, but I'm with them. Like they don't know, you know, because I'm like the black sheep in the family. No pun intended. But no, it was a little bit confusing when I was about 6 or 7. I remember asking mum a couple of times like, what's going on? Like, what's the deal? And you know, I think I remember like I think she felt really bad that I didn't have my biological father in my life. Honestly, it was a couple of years, and then I got it. Like I was like, all right, enough. Like, you know, Pierre's my dad and stuff. But yeah, didn't like. I know that all I know is that when I was born, like he left. He wasn't a really good man, like to my mum, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, made sure that, you know, like he left our lives and that sort of thing. So I'm grateful for that, because I wouldn't have Pierre if that wasn't the case. So I remember obviously I used to call him Pierre like when I was young, 5, 6, 7, because I was a bit confused about the dad thing. And then
100%.
I took the last name Saab. I was originally Broadfoot. I took the last name Saab, which is dad's name after he married mum, and my little sister was a Saab, and everyone was Saab except me. So, and then obviously started calling him dad, and I mean it's so normal to me now. Like he's a dad to me like as anyone else, you know. So that's kind of the little story between.
I appreciate you sharing that, bro.
Yeah.
Something that's pretty deep and obviously meaningful for you. The next question will probably be, obviously you're very blessed to be multicultural. So you're eligible to play for the Indigenous All-Stars.
Yeah.
Australia, of course.
Yeah.
What about Lebanon?
Yeah, eligible, yeah.
So we've got the World Cup coming up in 2026, and it's most likely going to be in the Southern Hemisphere, most likely either Australia or New Zealand.
Yeah.
Are you going to put your hand up for Lebanon if you had the opportunity to?
Well, of course. I mean, like as most probably Lebanese Australians, they want to play for Australia first.
Of course.
So that's my priority. But you know, if that doesn't help, if that doesn't work out, obviously, you know, I'm eligible to play for Lebanon. I'd love to play in the World Cup and, you know, verse teams like Australia and New Zealand and that. So yeah, of course, definitely I'm eligible, and don't see why I wouldn't. So.
Have you asked the question, because obviously you don't have the bloodline of being Lebanese. Did you have to sign anything or put anything down to actually represent Lebanon? Like what's the process?
I do remember I was speaking to Michael Checker back in like I think it was maybe 2020 or so.
Yeah, because I remember I think there was rumours of you actually going to play with us.
Yeah.
in the World Cup that year.
So I think it was like 2020. He was trying to get my eligibility, blah blah blah, and he was trying to convince me to you know put my hand up to play. And I just know I think because when you sign contracts, like ask like where your mum's born, your mum's born.
Yep.
And it didn't say stepdad, it said dad. So I put my dad's dad where he was born, which is Lebanon, which made me eligible, I suppose.
Yep.
I think I had to get like my grandparents' passports and that and all that sort of stuff. I've always been a bit on the fence about it, only because in a way, I kind of don't feel right that I might take somebody's spot who's Lebanese, who wants to play for Lebanon, who's got Lebanese blood, you know, in their veins. Like that to me is still a bit of like a maybe. Like I know I see you say, I'll put my hand up and that, but obviously, you know, when the time comes and stuff, it is still something to consider, because, you know, unfortunately, someone who's actually Lebanese by blood will miss out because of me, and you know, that's a bit. I feel, you know, pretty wrong for that. But at the same time, you know, I've been raised, you know, in a Lebanese household. I'm as Lebanese as some other, you know, I'm probably more Lebanese than some other Lebo-Australians in culturally speaking. And I'd feel like I'd owe it to my, you know, my Saab family to represent that on the world stage as well. So obviously when we cross that bridge, we'll come to it. But yeah, that's where I sit with it at the moment. So
yeah, I love that, man. I love that. So let's make it official. You're going to be playing for Lebanon in 2026.
God willing.
God willing.
Yes.
Oh, God. I'll probably be the manager or something.
You'll be playing, brother. What do you mean?
No, I'm not playing.
You're definitely playing.
I'll be running out the water to you. Don't worry. But speaking about the World Cup, it's actually a bit of a change. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Here we go.
So the International Rugby League Committee agreed to reduce the competing nations from 16 to 10, which is a bit annoying. I think there's going to be a few nations that miss out, like Italy, for example.
I saw something about that. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if that's going to grow the game or not, but the reasoning behind it was to increase the competitiveness of the games, that's showcasing the sport better. So obviously Australia, Samoa, England, New Zealand, Tonga, Papua New Guinea, Lebanon, and Fiji automatically qualify because they made the qualifiers the previous World Cup. But then they'll be joined by 2 other qualifying nations, which I don't know. I don't know if that's going to help the game because I feel right now with rugby league, we're struggling on the international stage. And I feel like the more we can get nations involved, the better. Don't get me wrong. Like lower tier nations, like the Serbias, Russians, Romanias.
Yeah, they get like they versus Australia, they get 60,
Scotland,
70 put on them.
Yeah, exactly. So I can see where they're going with it, but what's your take on it?
It's called World Cup, not half World Cup or this Southern Hemisphere or something cup. So I don't know. Honestly, it's above my pay grade. Like I'm just, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like you do what he's got to do. I'm trying to make Australia, Lebanon, and play at the highest level. But yeah, I guess like from like I don't know, a political standpoint, it doesn't make sense why you'd limit those teams. Maybe you just make those teams who aren't as good versus each other. You know what I mean? Maybe. And they qualify for semis, they get 60 put on them. So be it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
It happens in football. There's teams that aren't that good that they get pumped. So
I like that.
I mean, it is. I don't know. I'm personally. I mean, like I said, it was above my program. But if I was getting paid to make the decisions, I'd have them in there and I'd just make it work.
Yeah.
You want to make it a world game, get it as many flags in there as you can. But I do understand the reasoning behind like the competitiveness and all that sort of stuff. So, but it is what it is. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I'll give Abdul a call.
Yeah, maybe you should. Yeah. I'll call Peter. So you were growing up as a Parramatta junior. How did you get picked up by St. George?
I keep hitting this mic. So how did I get picked up by St. George? So I was in the para comp, left para comp, went to Cullen for Cougars and Balmain comp, which Mitch Moses played.
Yep.
Played development squad there. Hal Matthews train on squad, cut from train on squad. Then the next year got an invite trial to St. George SG Ball Year Young.
Yep.
Trialed, made that squad, made the final squad, couldn't believe it. Had an okay year there and then played the next SG Ball year, like my own age. And that was a good year for me. Then from there I signed, went straight to development contract. Played, I was 18, played few 20s games, handful of reserve grade games, and then debuted, and then that's how I ended up with the Dragons. Yeah.
How old were you when you debuted?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's pretty impressive. Man.
Yeah.
Did it all come too fast for you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think in looking back on it, and now when I see 18-year-olds debut, like some of them go really well, but I think a lot of them it's a bit of a shock because. Obviously, when you're 18 and you're playing like 20s and reserve grade and stuff, it's not as hard as NRL, of course. Like the difference. But I think the problem with that was I debuted, had a really good game, and then the next game didn't have such a good game, and I was like, this. It rattled me a bit, and then I just felt like it's just experience at the end of the day. Like 18-year-old. Whether you debut at 18 or debut at 21, you still need experience. But I feel like mentally you're mature enough at 21 to handle a setback in a game, whereas 18, you're still a kid. So it's a bit hard. Like there's only a handful of people that, they debut at 18 and they,
flourish. Talking
about Israel Folau, Greg Inglis, like these players who, there's only, it's very rare. But for me, it was a bit tough. Like it was a bit tough. And I feel like I debuted so long ago and I only played within those 2 years that I debuted, I think 7 games, which was for Saints. And in 2021, I played full time with me. And that's when it kind of started to happen for me. But yeah, I think, 18, it was tough, a bit underdone. But it's God's plan, bro. It is what it is,
You said experience, but also it's expectation. Like you, as an 18-year-old, you're playing the game you love so much, right? And all you want to do is just go out there, have fun. You get that first grade game, and then you're a first grade player, it becomes more of a job. You start having all these expectations, having to keep sponsors happy, having to do media, having to perform at a high intensity level for gym, field. All these expectations start piling up, and now the fun starts kind of diminishing slowly if that makes sense.
For sure.
But yeah, I totally understand. So back to your Dragons answer, and I feel like when I saw you there, it kind of ended abruptly. Like always thought like you were gonna kind of really kick off there
and be like
yeah.
a Zach Lomax, for example, who's been
You
playing
obviously
ever
started,
since.
like you said, you starting at such a young age at 18. Clubs obviously sees a lot of talent and belief in you.
Yeah.
From memory, in the headlines, it was the travel that was the main factor for you driving to Wollongong all the time, and that kind of I don't know. What's your kind of take on that? Like,
it's a bit conflicting, right? Like if you're just the elephant in the room, it's like, why going to Manly when you, So obviously it was a number of things, and the travel distance is a lot further than Manly. The travel time is a little bit similar.
I'm going to back you up on that. Because when I saw
you understand?
When I saw you on Saturday, I said that same thing to you. I'm like, bro, like I just drove to Manly, man. It took me almost an hour and a bit. Like, can't be further. But then I actually, like, geographically, like I saw, I think it was like 56 Ks to Wollongong, but 26 Ks to Manly.
Yeah.
But
90 Ks, you mean? About 90 Ks to Wollongong.
From Merrylands, from where I'm from. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
But okay. I can see you're right. Okay, you can.
No, honestly, it was, and at the same time, I understand I was 18 as well, and well, that was I left in 2020.
Yes.
So obviously, like, it was a couple of years of that before I, went, okay, this is like, I don't want to be here anymore. But ultimately, like, obviously, like, I wasn't playing as well, and I was doing all the travel not to play, and I was, I wasn't really being backed. I was being backed by one particular coach at the time, but ultimately this decision didn't lay with him whether I played or not. It was a couple people. So, but that's another thing. And obviously, in my opinion, it's like, well, through my experience actually, and through obviously, how Des backed me as someone who was young and wasn't playing really well, but saw it through, is that you need to play the games to get better. Like, I know you might play one or two not great games, but like, how do you get better if you don't play first grade? So it was a factor of things. I was getting up at, I don't know, 4:45, getting there for a 6 a.m. early start, and I was getting home about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Why are you getting so early?
Extras. I was skinny. I was like,
okay.
Yeah, still skinny. But anyway, still doing the extras. But I was doing that, and long day of training, and then getting home like 4, 5:30 some days. I'd eat dinner, watch maybe a show on Netflix, go to bed, do it again the next day. And it just became too much for me, you know what I mean? And I mean, ultimately now, like, when, both parties have moved on and whatnot, I still get the occasional Saints fan asking, like, why'd you leave and whatnot. But it just worked out better for me. And that's it. Like, both parties put it behind each other, and now I'm at Manly. I've been there for 3 years, 4 years, and that's...
Never look back.
Exactly, yeah, never look back. That's it.
So you ended up getting the release in 2020.
Yeah.
Was Manly the only club interested at the time?
Nah, there was New Zealand Warriors was like a big one, but that's a bit longer than driving to Manly, obviously.
I know about growing up in a Lebanese household, like family's everything, and everyone there's like a sense of attachment. Like you got to live at home until 30.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm learning that now. So, but bro, I had a handful of clubs. Like, I had the Tigers, Bulldogs.
Nice.
It was like a little bit from Para. Hey,
that's flattering. Like,
I had a good interest. Like, obviously, a lot of clubs seen the potential, which I'm really grateful for. But that release process went on for a while, and obviously rugby league, things change overnight. So majority of those clubs ended up, pulling out or whatever. Like, they had different plans, but mainly were set on me from the very moment. And I felt wanted. I felt like, there was a good team there as well that I could hopefully use my strengths there. And it just made sense for me. Like, that was what I went with. And like you said, never look back. So,
because like you started with Manly, like you said, and Manly are considered one of the most hated teams in the NRL.
Yeah.
Obviously the perception wasn't the same with you. Why do you love the club so much?
Just because of the sort of say, like, the senior leaders around the club. Like, you got the Jake and Tom Ches. Josh Alloy is also, like, grown into a major senior leader role at the club too. We're speaking at the time, obviously. So at the time, you had Des there, you had like, the Fultons, whatever, and there was just the club's always been a successful club. It's always been built off the back of, like, winning comps and stuff. Like, it's won a comp every decade, the last few decades. So. there was just a lot there for me, you know. And obviously the big one was like seeing how I could use my speed and my height, you know, with players like Ches who can kick, can give me the ball, Turbo can give me the ball, and that was like, and how could I forget? Obviously, my best mate Keith, God rest his soul, was one of the biggest parts. I wanted to go there. You know, growing up with him in school, playing school footy with him. He's my best mate. Like I did everything with him. You know, outside of footy and stuff. So, you know, he lived in where is it? I forget the name. Hoxton Park. We'll call it Hoxton Park because it's around there.
Yep.
So he lived there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and just, you know, just going to training with him every day, playing footy with him. That was like one of my biggest attractions as well. And yeah, and then you know, you know, he passed away, and I got the release from the club like a couple of days later. So it was very bittersweet. But like, you know, now I do kind of everything in memory of Keith. You know, when I go there and stuff, this has become part of my why I play and why I put the Manly jersey on. So. Yeah, that's what I love about the club. That's why I'm there.
How did you manage his passing?
It was, I don't know. It was so up until that point, I never had somebody so close to me pass away. So that was like the first time. That was the first time I I'd felt like loss and grievance, if that's a word. And yeah, no, it was like one of the most like heartbreaking, gut-wrenching things I've ever gone through. I reckon, like, you know, to get that phone call, and it not make sense and stuff. It was weird. I kind of came to terms with it really quickly. Like, I actually wasn't really in disbelief. Like, I could feel the pain straight away. Like, because I believed it. Like, and yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough. You know, that whole week, you know, I was just, you know, nonstop crying. Like, I'd wake up and, you know, first few moments, you know, when you wake up, you don't really, like, you kind of like don't really know what's going on, but then it would hit the reality and stuff, and yeah, just crying, man, and you know, obviously with all the group of mates we had as well, going through the same thing, but yeah, like, it was, you know, it was a solid couple of weeks, but then I guess it's weird. There was just a point where I just stopped crying. Like, I just, you know, I had to do what I had to do. You know, sometimes we lose people, can't explain why. That's just how life is. But yeah, that's kind of how I dealt with it. I just, you know, like, went through the emotions of losing someone, and now, like, I know he's smiling down on me, and I know I can make him proud and make his family proud, and, you know, that's kind of just how I handle it now. Yeah,
it gives you a reason to be grateful as well. Like, it just shows how fickle life can be sometimes. Like,
definitely, yeah.
We had a previous guest, Russell Mansour, who was on the show not long ago. God rest his soul.
Yeah,
just recently passed away, and just like that, man. Like, death doesn't discriminate, unfortunately, and you know, we're very lucky to have Russell on the show, and yeah, it just shows me that, like, whatever, like, grievances you have with people, like, just bury it. Like,
of course,
it's not worth it, man.
No,
like,
it's not.
You got to live life to the fullest. You got to honestly be present in the moment. I feel like as well, like, with the modern day, like, we're always stuck on our phones, me included. I admit it. We just got to really just take life for what it is and experience life for what it is, and it does, like, when things like this happen, it gives you a good opportunity to reflect and see how lucky you actually really are.
Sure,
and,
yeah.
But yeah, just be grateful for what we have, brother.
Exactly. And I think even, like, on that topic of Russell, you know, I've met him, and we've had chats and that online, and he's always obviously, you've seen what he's gone through, how he's changed his life around.
He's just starting life again, man.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like a great demonstration of, you know, gratitude and making the silent, brother, silent.
Oh, bro, you know what? I'm always the one to say,
Wow.
put your phone on silent.
It was,
you know what?
Before having a moment too.
We were having a massive moment. Let's just keep it rolling.
But you know, like, Russell will speak about that sort of stuff, and you know, when it comes to, you know, being grateful and just loving each other and being kind and being, you know, peace and happiness and stuff, and great man, Russell. You know, like, God rest his soul. But that's, you know, that's one way he's impacted, you know, even my life in my short time of knowing him, is that life is so short, and you know, he was living it to the fullest every day he had until his last, and that's a great example of I think that was the message he's trying to send while he was alive, you know, and
Everyone deserves a second chance.
Exactly. And you got to make the most of it, I suppose. So
I'll learn another thing off him. Like his circumstances don't determine your future.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, there's always an opportunity. There's always a decision, and you always have a choice of where you want to take yourself in life. And just because you have it tougher than other people doesn't necessarily mean you got to go down that route
of course.
Crime, drugs, all that bullshit. So. Rest in peace, Russ, man.
Straight up.
Bit of change of pace.
Yeah, please.
Back
Holy.
sorry, bro. Back in Manly, I've heard some great stories about your old coach, Des Hasler. He's known as the mad scientist, as you know.
Of course.
Is there any stories you can give me? I've got one, but I'll give you the floor for this.
What, you want one story?
I'll give you a couple. I'll be here all day. I love a Des story.
I'm trying to think. I got a couple. I got two. Make them short.
Yeah, let's go.
Was including one of the workers at the club, and one's with me, which is really funny. But one of them, I remember I was doing rehab running, and he was on the field at Narrabeen. And at Narrabeen, you got the change rooms at one end, and you drive around to the coaching offices and whatnot. And one of the fellas used to ride a scooter from the thing, like he just used to ride his scooter around. And I remember on the field, and this is shows you the effect Desi has on people. Like, I remember he was riding his scooter and he didn't have a helmet on, and he had his helmet on the back, and he was only riding from like it's like 200 meters. It's not long. Like, who would put a helmet on? Like, no one would really put a helmet on.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's riding, and I'm on the field, and I'm standing next to Des because he was talking to me about something, and we'll call the guy Bob, whatever. He's yelling at Bob. He's like, Bob. He's like, put your fucking helmet on, like that, screaming. And he ignored him.
What was he doing? How was he doing?
He was going, he's like, put your fucking, like that. He was screaming. And the guy ignored him. And he did it again, and he yelled this time, like, through the, like, and he was angry. He was angry. But it just shows you, like, right, it's funny. Like, this is why this is funny, because, like, what does he care? Like, who cares? It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's just how he likes to just have his input around people. And the guy stopped. Got off his bike, put his helmet on, got back on the scooter, and rode 50 meters back to where he was gonna just get off the scooter anyway. Mate, I swear that was one of those moments. I was like, fuck, people don't muck around with Des.
Yeah.
And the other one was, I remember I just came off not a great game, like didn't have many carries, play the ball percentage, because he's like his numbers and stuff. I think my play the ball was like 12%, and post contact wasn't great. I was getting bum rush, so it wasn't good. But I remember we're doing we used to do these like these gym circuits. Because he used to be at S&C. He used to do these gym circuits, and the Smith machine.
Yep.
So he was doing this one where it was like a bench press throw, and it had weights on it. Yeah. Right. And he was standing over me, and he's putting his hand up saying hit the bar, but in Desi he's like hit the bar like that, and he's going like that, and the bar's coming up, and he's moving his hand up, and he's screaming at me, and he's going, fucking 12% play the ball. What the fuck is that? Like at me, and he's just pretty much giving it to me about my game, and it was pretty funny because I was laughing. I was like, this guy's a menace, bro. And he's going, hit the bar like that.
That's my type of coach.
And I'm trying to hit the bar, and obviously like hit the hand. I'm obviously not hitting the hand, and he's just relaying like my shit stats to me at the same time. And he's just, mate, he's just
like the devil in his shoulder.
He is just he's a different cat, man.
The story I heard, man, it could be GST. I don't know. But anyway, it's a funny story. There was a particular player, and Desi had an issue about his hit-ups. And he had, I wouldn't say handbrake, but he wasn't like having much impact when he hit the line. And he brought him to his office, and they had a chat, and then there was a little corridor outside the office.
You know the player or not?
He go, what's that?
You know the player or not? Confidentiality.
I'm not going to name him. Anyway, and he goes, run at me. And he's like, what? He's like, you heard me. Run at me as hard as you can. Run at me. Anyway, the player absolutely steamrolled him. I reckon he planted his boot in his face. Bro. And then Des gets up. He's like, and that's how I want you to run. Bro. When I heard that, I was in tears, bro. But you know what? It just shows how passionate he is.
Yeah, he is. He used to wrestle Matty Battling like I think it's called the Ring of Fire. He used to call it after training, and he'd make the boys circle up, and he'd walk in the middle, and he'd call Matty out, make him wrestle him, and Des would be in there, head into him and stuff, and they'd full wrestle to the ground and stuff. It was full on, like, but. For what reason, I don't know.
That could end so badly for Des. Like, I've seen it happen on tour in 2016.
Oh, you got to be careful. Eh?
For me, my personal experience on tour 2016, we were in Midlands. We were at some dodgy pub in the middle of England, right? And me and the boys were just upstairs having a few beers after, I think we beat Scotland. And Michael Crocker was our head of culture. And I don't know what happened, but like, I was pretty known for my play the balls that year and always playing in my front. Yeah. And we're having like a knee wrestle off.
Yeah.
Anyway, I ended up dominating him. And then Michael Crocker picked out Blake Ferguson. And Fergo was wrestling him. Anyway, long story short, during the wrestle, Crocker tore his bicep and had to like fly back to Australia.
Are you serious, bro?
It was pretty
It's
bad.
ridiculous. So like people who arm wrestle as well, that they see their arm break.
Do you remember Ben Ross?
On the footy show?
Ben Ross and Rendell Saylor.
I'll never like arm wrestle, bro. No way.
That's actually,
not
I'm
me.
not gonna lie, that's actually scarred me as well.
Yeah.
That.
Like you see those videos, or even like people when they're doing like heavy squats or something. That's why I don't like squat heavy. I'm too scared to.
There's been some bizarre like sports coming out as well. You know the
don't say power. Yeah, power slap. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I don't understand. Dana White.
You couldn't pay me enough to do that.
Hold on a second. There's a number.
There is a number.
There's a number, but like it's ridiculous. I don't call it sport. I don't know what that is, but that's you know.
You got to be tapped in the bloody head for that.
For sure.
Let's talk about Vegas. Having the opportunity to play in Vegas for the first time. Obviously got to meet some NFL personalities over there. What was the hype like? What was it like playing in Vegas?
Bro, it was pretty crazy, eh? Like even though it was round one, like it's round one, no one really remembers round one and whatnot, but it still had like a finals feel to it, or like grand final feel to it. You're doing all the media that you do in the week, like similar to a grand final and stuff like that. Not that I've ever been there, but that's what goes on in the week, grand final and stuff. And it was just unreal. I know for some boys it was like pretty crazy because I went to Vegas last year in September, so like I'd already seen everything. So when I went back this time, it was still fun.
What did you do last year in Vegas?
No, I just went for holiday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
who'd you go with?
I just went with Shuey, Josh Schuster, Matt Dury, our play manager, and his brother, and a good mate of his. So it was 6 of us.
How is Schuster coming along? What's
good.
What's been happening with him?
He's been playing reserve grade, so he's been playing like, which is good. So he's been playing reserve grade, and I don't know. Like I think that's what he's gonna do for now, like until he can work his way back into the side and stuff, and stay on the field. So, but he's traveling good. He's playing. That's positive.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, back to the.
You're fine. So we've showed blah blah blah. Yeah. So no, we went LA, went Vegas, blah blah blah. I went on a bit of holiday last year. I haven't been on holiday in years. So, but yeah, when we went back a couple months later, it was cool, but like I reckon like 3 days in, I was just like, all right, I just want to play the game.
Yeah.
And and leave. So, but it was unreal, man. Like to go over there and play at a stadium where they played the Super Bowl, and the stadium had a roof and it was so loud and the field was like crazy. The bit concerning the walls and the concrete and stuff, like tubes got absolutely sent into the wall, which is so dangerous. Yeah, like that's I don't know. Is that a lawsuit? Is that a chance?
Hey, if he gets injured,
like
I'm calling him a lawyer if I got injured.
That's what I mean. Like that was a bit dangerous in that sense, but thank God everyone was fine. So, but yeah, like it was just pretty cool playing in that environment. Big like loud crowd.
Did you feel the hype there?
Yeah. I felt the hype for sure. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it felt like a grand final. Like I don't know if I've ever been so nervous. You know what I mean? It was one of those games where I was peak nervous. So yeah, it was unreal. But like, to go and do it and stuff, and
you scored a try.
Make history. Yeah. Scored. Got a try. Yeah. Fortunately, done Miami. 3 minutes left. So it was a bit sour at the moment, but it was still like, nevertheless, I was still grateful for the opportunity and be the first team, to go over there and win a game of footy in America, or a Telstra Premiership match. So it was cool, man.
I want to talk about one of the other teammates, Luke Brooks.
Brooksy.
Yeah, Brooksy. What a legend.
Brooksvale.
Welcome
to Brooksvale. That's the new name. Yeah.
What's he like?
Bro, he's so cool. Very quiet. I didn't know him like how he was at the Tigers, so I don't know what he was like there. But over here, like he, just flies under the radar, does his thing, plays his footy. And I like Brooksy. I'm getting a lot closer with him. So yeah, I'm happy for him. He's getting what he deserves. You know what I mean? Like, they put too much shit on him throughout the years. Asking him to change the world with the circumstances. So
constant instability at that club.
yeah, like it's just like it's one player. It's a team sport. You know what I mean? Like it's how much can you expect from him? So, but he's in a good place now. You know, I think he's gonna be real successful with us, and honestly, I can't wait to just get back on the field and play with him. Brooksvale, welcome to Brooksvale.
I like that. I love that.
Didn't you see the little article that came out when he signed? That's where it came from. They put him, they put his head on somebody's body that didn't fit in a Manly jersey, and like they put Brookie in the background, and it said "Welcome to Brooksvale." So that's what I call it, is Brooksvale now.
I love that. That's got to stick.
Yeah.
Do you feel as well now with Manly, especially after the signing of Brooksy, do you feel like you guys are the hunted now, that you're not really flying under the radar, and like you could be potentially a dark horse in this competition this year?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like we're a serious contender for sure. I think, you know, teams probably will take some a bit more serious than they have the last couple of years, because obviously we haven't been playing that well the last couple of years. But I think this year we got a pretty well-rounded team. And I think the best thing to come out of compared to the last couple of years is that not necessarily like, you know, the skill and all that sort of stuff. We've always kind of had the talent there, but I think it's like the boys will work hard and they compete. You know, like that first game against South, we're down 20-12. The old Manly, that would have ended up 40-something to 12. You know, but we come back and win, and then obviously grind that hard game out against the Roosters. And then even yesterday, Sunday, even though we lost, you know, the Manly of old going up 14-0 and then them coming back would probably let the game go, but there's a try in it to the last minute, you know what I mean? And controversial, but, you know, it just goes to show like the competitiveness is there. And I think that's, you know, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the competitiveness, like, you don't win grand finals, you don't make finals and stuff. So I think we're a genuine contender this year.
Was it a try last week?
Well, bro, honestly, like, it's hard, right? Because if that happens against you, you're saying it's a no try.
Yeah.
When it happens for you, it's a try. So it's like, I think even Ches said it, like the rule's black and white.
Exactly.
But Luka Moretti's not gonna get to Tom Trbojevic, and Tom's already too far past him. Like he's making that break regardless.
Well, you could tell like he milked.
He played to the rules.
He
played to the rules.
Absolutely did.
Yeah.
Like
he played to the rules, and
he wasn't even in a jog.
No,
like,
yeah.
That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was
I
no
know.
way.
Yeah.
Listen, black or white, per the rule book, it was obstruction.
Yeah,
all right?
per the rule book.
the
But
rule book.
like, let's all get real.
This is the thing about rugby league, right? And it can never be black and white.
Yeah.
Reality is it can never be. As hard as we try to make it black and white, conversations like this will always happen.
Yeah,
about
of course.
particular
In
instances
any
and
sport.
moments in the game,
In
right?
any sport.
Oh, I think particularly rugby league as well.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always rules changing and stuff like that, and don't get me wrong. There's always coaches and teams trying to exploit those rules. That's in any sport, but particularly rugby league, it's just very grey, and you need a lot of. I feel like you need a lot of experience and common sense if you're going to be in the bunker. I believe that you need ex-players to be in there.
See, the way I see it with the bunker, it's like, I understand like the bunker, it's good in a way, like if you have all this technology, like you have to get the calls right.
Yeah.
Like you can't have all this technology and not get the calls right. But at the same time, like human error, it happens. You know, people get calls wrong all the time.
Look at the English Premier League. They just introduced
that's
VAR.
another level. But you're talking about
VAR.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about Super League.
So they got their own video ref.
Yeah,
now
of the goal and that to see if
it's
not good.
They're the biggest. Well, they're arguably the biggest competition in the world. The English Premier League.
Yeah, of
right?
course. Yeah,
they still get it wrong.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. But you know, I'm all for back in the day when we had benefit of the doubt, video ref, and we just had the referees on-field decisions. Like we didn't have all of this, you know, stuff, and I don't know. I feel like that was a good time rugby league, because if a ref got the call wrong, all right, they got the call wrong. They're only human.
Yeah,
but now we have all this technology. They're still going to get calls wrong, but like because of all this technology, people are going to go like, oh, how didn't you see this? How didn't you see that? So it's like they kind of set themselves up to be critiqued, you know, even more than if they just kept it simple. But like I said, it's above my pay grade. As long as I score and tries.
You and me both, brother.
I
We'll
don't
just score
care.
tries. We'll lace up the boots.
Exactly.
You will. Not me anymore. But one thing I want to talk to you about, and probably the most controversial thing that's actually ever happened to you, probably in your life, is around the Pride Round jersey. Of course, I don't think you've had the opportunity to speak out about it, but How did that affect you and your teammates, particularly around that jersey?
Yeah, it was like I never had been like in something so like controversial and the whole cancel culture and all those people coming at me. So it honestly, like looking back on it, it was good and it was a bad experience. And the reason I say it was the good part was because I actually for the first time was publicly attacked, pretty aggressively from a group of people. And that was the first time I had to deal with like, okay, people gonna say things, opinions, create opinions about you. And like through that, like I kind of, now I'm better for it in terms of criticism and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But obviously, the negative side was it did confuse, a few of the boys at the club, because obviously like some of the boys, they don't have the beliefs that myself have, or everyone's got different beliefs. You know what I mean? Everyone's entitled to their beliefs. Like that's the whole point, right?
Exactly.
And so for some of them, it was a bit confusing. Like they just didn't understand why it was such a big deal and stuff. And we obviously we had these conversations and explained it to them, and we moved on. And obviously, like people will say like, well, it showed in the last 7 games because we lost them all 7 straight. But I just think it was a number of things. Like I think we also had injuries and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was just a bit confusing around the club for a bit, and obviously we moved on to the next year, and when Siebes came in, he made a big effort in getting people to interact and get to know each other and all that sort of stuff, and connect. Yeah, exactly. And going 2 years on now from that, the group is tighter than it's ever been. So, I mean, these things happen, you know what I mean? And there's always a reason for them. And so I feel like out of that came, if that didn't happen, not to say that we wouldn't be connected now as much as we are, but I still feel like we are definitely a lot more connected because the team's been through something, you know what I mean? Anything, like any relationship or friendship makes you stronger. So yeah, that was kind of my experience with it. But that's we've all moved on from that now, and yeah.
And you know what, I respect that.
Yeah.
You know what, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything, brother. So
exactly,
that's
bro.
the honest truth.
Exactly.
All right. That's the controversy. You take a breath. Now for our next segment, it's what's in the sauce, brother.
What's in the sauce?
What's in the sauce? You like that?
I like it, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's do a bit of fun stuff, right?
Okay, sweet.
All right, a bit of fun stuff. All right, to start us off, true or false? All right, you are the fastest man in the game.
And see how it's like arrogant.
I like that.
No.
I don't like that. That's not arrogance. It's
No.
confident, There's a line between arrogance and confidence.
Oh, of course, no. I'm having a joke, but yeah,
it's always a topic of discussion.
Everyone. People ask me like, and every time I say, I don't know, but like, I want people to stop asking me, so I'm going to say yes.
Fucking oath.
I'm going to say yes.
I was hoping you said that.
I believe so.
I believe Fox.
No, but I like straight out, I believe so. Like, I don't pin the ears back because I believe I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, you have that belief. So yeah, I do believe so. Like, I work really hard on it in the off season. I do my sprint training. I work hard on my speed. So you work hard at something, then But I think, fastest behind Lockie Ilias. You get it? No?
I got it.
No. Mate, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. No, but you know what? I'm going to ask Fox the exact same question.
Yeah.
And if he says true, we're going to organise a race and we're just going to settle this.
We've been talking about organising a race for years now. It's not happening.
But you know what? They don't know how to organise shit. I'm going to organise it myself.
Get the Lebos to do it.
Because I'm a Lebo and I get stuff
Business,
done.
this and that.
I can hustle. I'm a hustler,
yeah.
I'm a hustler. Yeah. All right? We'll leave it at that. All right. We already spoke about this, but true or false? The drive to Wollongong is closer to Manly.
100% true.
We already touched on that. Let's just go to the next one. I'm going to rattle your brain here.
Here we go.
I'm going to rattle your brain. As you know, Pinocchio's grow.
Wow. Pinocchio's grows. Brother, Pinocchio's nose grows. It's a tongue twister.
Pinocchio.
You know Pinocchio, his nose grows.
Yes.
Make it easy.
Thank you very much. As you know, Pinocchio's nose grows when he lies, right?
Well done.
Okay, so thank God I got that out there. So if he said my nose is about to grow, what would happen?
If he said my nose is about to grow, what would happen?
Is he lying or is he telling the truth?
What the hell? What type of question is this? Is he lying or is he telling the truth? My nose is about to grow. Well, his nose only grows when he lies, right?
Yeah.
So if he's saying that, if he's saying that my nose is about to grow,
Yeah.
technically he's lying because he's wow, I don't know.
So he's telling the truth.
Well, he's telling the truth, but if he's telling the truth, then his nose grows. Because
if he's telling the truth, his nose doesn't grow.
Yeah, so he's telling the truth, his nose doesn't grow.
But if his nose doesn't grow,
but if his nose,
it
okay.
means he's
so say it
lying.
again. So if Pinocchio's, if he says my nose is about to grow, my nose is about to grow. My nose is about to grow. But I can't even answer. Like I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't even answer it. It's controversial. My nose is about to grow.
This is probably the most controversial thing on the podcast.
Is there like an answer to this, or is this like, are we just like?
Oh, the answer is whatever you think the answer is.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, if he's saying my nose is about to grow, well, he hasn't made a lie, so his nose isn't going to grow. So because he said his nose is about to grow and it's not, he's lying. So his nose is going to grow.
So the nose is going to grow? So
I don't know, bro. Honestly.
To all the listeners out there, good luck. good luck. That's all we're going to say. Just put it in the comments and I can't wait to go for the answers.
You know that?
Khalas.
Yeah, enough.
I don't got the tongue for it either. Okay, so let's talk about boxing.
Yeah.
You got in the ring, put the gloves on for the first time, end up winning your first boxing match.
Yeah.
Firstly, how did that come about?
Bro, so I've been training with Huss at Fine Around Jim Preston's for a couple of years now. I was doing it like during the week of footy and stuff just because I don't know, I just did a bit of extras, but when I jumped in, maybe did like a little sparring here and there that week, I just found myself more aggressive on the field, something I need to work on. And the off season came about, you know, a couple of years later, like a year later, and I was like, you know what, like, why not? And it wasn't like to jump on a big no limit and make, you know, 20, 30 grand or anything like that. Like I fought at like a local show, like it was...
Reasonably workers, right?
Yeah, like you get nothing, like, you know what I mean? So the whole point honestly was like to go through the camp, the sparring camp, learn something about myself, you know, like learn it to see if there's more dog in me, I would call it, you know, and I did all that training and all the sparring, and then obviously the fight night was more just a reward for my hard work during the camp. But it was also like to make the walk by myself, you know, like there's no other 12 blokes behind me running out into the field, fighting in front of people, just stepping outside of my comfort zone. I just thought maybe if I had done that, then I'd be able to translate that to footy and actually run with a bit of intent, you know, run with a bit of aggressiveness. And, you know, obviously in boxing, like it's you against the other person, like no one's going to help you, like you can't hide and stuff. So I thought like, you know, hopefully I'll go on the field and I'm going to put it over this guy. Like I'm going to put it over the person I'm running at, or, you know, the person that's running at me, because that's what you have to do in boxing.
Exactly.
And if you do that on the field,
exactly,
which not many people, you know, not everyone does, but the ones that do that, they play Origin, they play Australia, you know what I mean? So it was just more just trying to better myself for my rugby league and stuff, and just to see like how good I could go in the ring as well. So I got a couple things out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't look out of place. Like you definitely like threw them pretty well.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too bad. I kind of still cringe at some of the shots because I look so good in sparring, but then you know, the fight's different. Everyone's first fight is a bit like that. You gas out adrenaline and all that stuff. So some of them was like, ooh, you know.
What was your reach? I'm just curious to know.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
They said jab, get away, jab.
Yeah. Oh mate, I think it was like the game plan, jab, and I just started throwing haymakers. So I gassed myself out so quickly, but I got through it in the end and got the win. Yeah. So but yeah, it was a good experience, man.
What's your hand size, man? I have to ask.
Brother, is there such thing as a hand size?
Well, let's compare hands right now. Let's just. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
So
it might be. Almost there.
Oh, actually, almost a big hand.
Yeah, well, you got a big foot, bro.
Yeah,
so
I
it only makes sense. God made you in, you know.
God could have gave me a bit more inches.
Yeah,
but
higher. Like, what do you do? Like height,
height, yeah. Because that's sweet, you know. Obviously. So you obviously we're off topic. Back to your boxing. Is there an opportunity for any more fights down the track that you might entertain?
Yeah, definitely. There's opportunity for fights on the track, but I feel like as I've been training, getting back, like going back to footy and stuff, that's like where I kind of that's kind of where I thought, you know what, like I don't necessarily want to jump in the ring at the end of the year. It's not something I necessarily want to do every year.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? It was more something I did just to go back to footy and impact my footy. But I really enjoyed it and I'd love to do it again. But when is just a different story because it's a long year. Like you don't know you don't know if you're going to be injured at the end of the year. You don't know, like you can't really book these things in, you know what I mean? How the body's feeling and stuff. So like I'm not in a rush to jump back in the ring. Like I've done what I need to do for now.
Yep.
But I don't think it'll be the last time I jump in the ring. Like I definitely do it again. I think, you know, I got something out of it and you know, I think I'm not too bad in the ring as well. So you know, when the time comes, I'll get on the phone, Georgie Rose,
100.
you know, no limit card or something like that. But yeah, for time being, man, I just want to play for the Blues. I want to play for Australia. I want to at least tick those boxes first before I go and jump in the ring again. So that's where my head's at.
Is there a player or someone you have your eye on?
But straight out, I don't know. I straight out like I just.
Interesting.
I don't know. No, I did. Obviously, I did in the year before.
Who was it?
I did. It was Zach Lomax. Remember? it was lovely.
I was waiting for you to get.
Yeah. No. But like, obviously, that didn't happen. Whatever. I still found someone to fight. It's still got.
How did that even come about? If I have to ask.
Yeah. No, honestly, it was just.
You played together at the Dragons?
Yeah. I played together. Yeah.
Friends, not friends.
Yeah. No, like we're fine. Yeah, we're fine at the Dragons. But like obviously, I went off to England. Like I never spoke to him. Like we never like kept in touch. Whatever.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I just knew that he was doing like some boxing, some sparring as well on his own at like the other gym he was training at. And I needed to fight somebody. Like I don't know where you're gonna find someone, you know, same type of stature and that. And he's a good athlete as well. I thought, you know, it'd be a good opportunity. Like that's a good matchup. So there wasn't like any bad blood or anything like that. Like
Just an opportunity.
Yeah,
just
an opportunity. Like you want to jump in the ring,
have it out.
Let's go. Let's have a crack. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think like St. George let him do it or whatever. So
okay.
yeah. So it is what it is. Like just move on. You know.
Well, it looks like he's leaving St. George, so you never know. Maybe
yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe Paramount let him do it. Who knows? If that's where he's going, I don't know.
Oh, I love that, man. Love that. All right. Our next segment of the show, brother. I'm not sure.
How did this get here? This was over there. I swear this was over there.
Well, I don't think I'm ready for it because apparently my producer
can't be that bad, bro.
It's pretty bad.
Trust me, I'm pretty out of pocket. Like, you know, with the boys and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Well, let's see. It was our guest Nick Kyrgios did the honors of writing your question. Open it up, brother. Open it up. Let's see what he wrote for you.
Nick Kyrgios, bro.
Fuck,
this is pretty cool, but
I'm
Nick Kyrgios.
I'm fucking nervous. Everyone in the back has got me nervous.
Does he know who he's writing it for or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You said this before.
Is it bad?
Do I got to read it out?
Yeah, you have to read it out.
Far out.
Is it bad?
I don't know. Is this Josh Mansour or Josh Addo-carr?
Me.
Okay. If a snake bit Josh in the groin area, would you suck the venom out? Is it life or death situation?
Well,
is it life or death situation?
I'm gonna say yes.
Allah ya humble, bro. Sorry. Sorry, bro.
If anyone, what that means is, like, mate, God rest your soul.
I'm sorry, bro.
But my groin area, but like, it's not specific. So it could be the jewels, or it could be actually like my thighs, like groin.
Because I don't know how to answer
brother.
This.
All right.
Groin, you know what? But
read it again.
I tell you what. The word he crossed out and put groin area, I think that's what he's.
Can I see that? Can I see that? Fuck, let me see this shit. If a snake bit Josh in.
I think that's what he's talking about, bro.
He didn't even have the decency to cross out
properly, yeah. But it's read between the lines, isn't it?
Kyrgios with a smiley face.
Now, you know what, bro? I have faith in God that it's not life or death situation. So I'll just take you to hospital and you'll be sweet.
But we're in the middle of the desert, but is it in the middle of the desert?
Doesn't say that.
Oh, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. Yeah,
why do you want that situation? That's crazy. The fact you added in there, you didn't have to do that. That's so wild.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Nick.
Modern medicine.
Done.
My durability.
Prayer.
Prayer.
Of course.
And I reckon we'll get through, brother.
Done.
Yeah.
I got you. Don't worry. I'll put you on my back. I'll run there.
Thanks, brother. All right, now that was a bit of a curveball.
I got to write one too, right?
You can write one too for our next guest.
Who's? Oh, I don't know.
I know who the next guest is. I do know.
All right.
I'll just spill the beans. Our next guest will be Mark Burris, everybody, for who watching. So, entrepreneur, businessman.
Bro, he just had
on the board for the City Roosters. City Roosters fanatic.
He just had. He does the podcast, yeah.
Does the podcast.
He just
himself.
had Robert Kiyosaki on his thing. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Wow, that's huge, bro.
Massive.
That was pretty cool. So,
how do you know him?
Well, don't worry, business, investment, this, that. Yeah. Come on, bro.
You are
Come on.
You are
Rich
Lebanese.
dad, poor dad. Come
you
on,
are
bro.
Lebanese. Get that envelope, brother. Get the paper out of it.
I'll
And
rip into it.
You seem like a bit of a deep, meaningful person.
Try to be, bro. Try to be. I try to be.
all
That's why I'm not writing something like this. Nick,
brother. Wow.
He's like that, eh? He's like he's just like
very
off
not
tap.
out there. He's not what's the word? Eccentric? Not eccentric.
Eccentric. Well, like an eccentric curl. Eccentric, like
eccentric?
down. You know, like hemi-Nordics. Eccentric.
What did I say?
Eccentric. You said eccentric.
Eccentric.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Eccentric.
I don't know.
Nick?
Intrinsic.
I'm right, yeah? Thank you.
Is he?
Eccentric.
Oh, well. Maybe they have more than one meaning. Maybe I'm wrong. One, yeah.
Made me question myself there. Listen, I don't have the best vocabulary.
All pronunciation.
I'm having a shocker today with words, honestly. So what is it? Meaningful?
Nah,
funny,
it's
fucking
meaningful.
Whatever that was.
It's not that rubbish. It's not like it's good. And you know what? Like, oh wait, I can't. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good question. Asked by my best mate Zach, which is
you sealed it up real good, by the way.
yeah, done. See,
no, it's too smart. What's in the pipeline coming up for you, brother?
4 weeks rehab. Hopefully, get back on the field.
Yep. Have you started running yet?
Yeah. I started running like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So that's tracking really well. Mate, other than that, just keep the head down, work hard. Easter's coming up with the family, obviously soon. And yeah, I guess take this next 4 weeks, invest in myself, my family, and as we spoke about on the podcast, just make the most of every moment. Don't worry, I'm stuffing up my words too. So, and just nothing too crazy or special, man. Just keep chipping away at my goals, and that's it.
What are you doing for Easter?
Probably just the big family lunch, the usual. Go to Nan's house, have the lunch and
seafood.
Yeah, prawns, obviously.
Yeah, have to.
Lebo food, obviously.
Have to.
Lebo barbecue, obviously.
What did you give up for Lent?
I gave up confectionery, like chocolates, lollies, soft drink, dessert.
The standard give up.
But you know what? It's actually hard.
It's so hard.
It's hard. I'll have a block of chocolate at least twice a week. You know what I mean? I love chocolate. I love dessert and stuff.
I have chocolate every night.
You know, Coke Zero, like here and there. So I wanted to do something that was like hard. You know what I mean? Like, so that's last year was coffee, which you could never do, I don't reckon. But I tell you, it's good. It's good.
It's been full on at my house lately.
I can imagine.
Full on, but
just that. So
nice, bro. Well, thanks for coming on the show today. I hope you enjoyed it because I definitely did, and it's good to know that you'll definitely be wearing the Cedars jersey one day, brother. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And looking forward to seeing you back on the footy field, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Thanks,
Thank you.
brother.